Hello and welcome back to the Shades of Orange. Today I want to review Persepolis Rising by James S.A. Corey. This is the 7th book in the Expanse series, and I'm going to do a spoiler-free review, meaning that I'm not going to talk about any specifics of the characters or plot in a way that would spoil it for readers who aren't necessarily caught up to the most recent installment. But if you have not heard of this series before, if you don't know anything about it, I do recommend going and checking out my review of Leviathan Wakes. That is book 1 and will give you a better idea what this whole series is about. But I realize that a lot of people aren't necessarily, as I mentioned, caught up, or maybe they've only watched the TV show but are interested in hearing about the books and want to know about the latest book. Are they as good as you read further into the series? So I'm going to jump in and tell you a little bit more about this one. Now, it's not a surprise for anyone who's been watching my channel for a while to know that this is my all-time favorite science fiction series. I absolutely love this epic space opera, and anyone else who is like me is obsessed with the series will be very happy with this latest installment. It covers everything that you would expect. It has all the elements that I love so much: the characters, the world building, and even things like the diversity. I forgot just how seamlessly James S.A. Corey weaves that elements of diversity into the story in terms of both ethnicity and sexuality, and the world that they imagine is just so fantastic. Now, one of the biggest reasons I keep coming back to the series is the characters, which I've grown to absolutely love. By the 7th book, I feel like I know them so well and I just want to spend time with them. This particular book has 4 perspectives, 2 of them which will be familiar to readers and 2 that were new to me. And with that, of course, I'm always biased to enjoy particularly the chapters that are focused on characters that I already know, but even the new perspectives were really good. They gave me a good insight into other aspects that were going on in the universe, and were just as enjoyable to read as the ones from the beloved characters that I already know and love so much. Now, one of the things that was quite unique about this book was the fact that it set quite a bit of time after the events of the previous book, Babylon's Ashes, and I thought that was really interesting to see. This book plays heavily with the themes of aging, growing old, and we really get to see the characters mature. We realize that they have gone so far from where they were at the beginning of the story in Leviathan Wakes. They are no longer naive and impulsive, but instead have some years under their belt. They are not dumb, and quite frankly, they know what they're doing a little bit better, and at the same time they're realizing that they are slowing down. Now, as I mentioned, this is the 7th book in a 9-book series, and because of that, it does face some of the challenges that come with being a middle book. The authors really had to close up the events from the previous book and deal with that aftermath, and at the same time really set up the final 2 books. And at times the story did feel a little bit slower because of that, and just really felt a little bit of the growing pains. But all that being said, it did pick up towards the end of the book, and while it was very heavily focused on politics, which wasn't my favorite aspect of the book, it might be something you really enjoy, but eventually towards the end it very much did pick up into that more adventure story, very much that space opera, and it really leads up to some fantastic things. Now, without saying anything spoilery, I will say that I'm very excited to see where the last 2 books are going to go based off of where this one ended. It very much is setting up for a fantastic conclusion to the series. I know that the authors have announced that they are already aware of how the series is going to end, and I've known for quite a while, and so I have a lot of confidence that it's going to go to some very great places. So if you're a fan of the book series or the TV show and are not caught up, I highly recommend you do so and pick this one up as soon as possible, because it is just an enjoyable, fantastic series. I just think it's epic and fun with great characters. The world building is so easy to get into, but at the same time it is so addictive, so immersive, and I just really enjoy this series. While this book was very much a setup book, it is preparing you for some very fantastic things that I know are going to come in the last 2 books, and I'm very excited for that. So I highly recommend the Expanse series, as well as particularly this book, Persepolis Rising, which was just a lot of fun to read. I breezed through it in just a few days despite the length, and I would just love to discuss this book with more readers like yourselves. So that is my brief review of Persepolis Rising without giving away anything. And as always, let me know if you are currently reading the series, if you're interested in it, have any questions about this one. Please keep the comments spoiler free for anyone who is not caught up on the series. However, I am planning on doing a spoilery discussion, so if you want to watch that video, it should now be available, and I will put links places, and you can certainly talk all the spoilery things you want over there. But again, if you haven't picked up this series, you know my thoughts on it, you know I love it, so I hope you do so. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you again soon. Okay, bye.